Hello, my name is Magnet, creator of the survival series of videos for the DayZ modification for ArmA 2 combined operations. And today what I'll be doing is a remake of my survival tutorial series, which I released close to the start of the release of the mod. Several things have changed in a few of the updates in how we play and interact with DayZ, so I'm going to aim at familiarising new players with the interface and some key things that you need to know in playing DayZ. Now, first things first, this is what you'll see when you first spawn. Have a look down the bottom right hand corner and you'll see some text appear: Chernarus, Chernogorsk. Chernarus is the island that we're currently live on. This is where we spawned, and we're near the capital city, which is Chernogorsk. And oh my god, there's another survivor. Now, Chernogorsk is probably one of the least probably one of the worst places I could spawn, because it's got the highest concentration of players, and my likelihood of getting killed is a lot higher in Chernogorsk than pretty much anywhere else in the map. But we'll crack on anyway. First things we'll do is to familiarise ourselves with the interface. As you can see up the top right hand corner, I've got a sort of dark area which is called the debug monitor. That allows me to track some important information about the game. Zombies killed, so how many zombies my character has killed, how many headshots I've got on people and zombies, how many murders I've committed, so how many players you've killed. Bandits killed, so they're the people who essentially make a living out of killing other survivors, and it will indicate to you when you've killed one of them. Blood, that's a very important factor. We want to keep track of that, as your blood will go down with injuries. So dependent on the severity of your injury, you will lose blood at a rate, and you'll have to address that by bandaging it and eating to recover blood, or undertaking a blood transfusion. But we can discuss that later. Below that you can see a zombie count. It's currently hovering around 720, 730. So basically what that means is there are 730 or so zombies currently spawned into the world. Now that'll fluctuate depending on how many characters there are in the game and how many instances have been spawned. As you can see, I've also got a temperature gauge there. It's currently sitting at 40 degrees Celsius. Now that basically tells me how warm I am, and it's very important to also keep track of that. Oh god, the survivor's gone. Anyway, it's very important to keep track of that, because at night or in situations where you say you get wet, so if I went for a swim in there, or it was night time, it could get very cold very quickly, and I could risk capturing an infection, which means my blood rate would slowly dwindle unless I manage to cure myself with some antibiotics. Anyway, and below that you can see my name, which is OCB Magnet. A couple of other things we need to know is along the right hand side, again just partially obscured by the debug monitor, is the shape of an ear. Here, I'll just move that up so you can see it a bit better. That represents how well zombies can hear us when we come across them. So as I move around, you should see it move. So if I stand up and run, it will move to 2. If I'm around and crawling, I'm practically silent or making very little noise. And if I go prone, it shouldn't make much noise at all either. Now basically that indicates how aware zombies will be of us, and the more lines which appear next to the ear, the more audible we are to them. Below that is another similar concept. It's a picture of an eye, as you can see, and that just shows how visible we are to zombies, so within their visual range. Right now there's very little visibility. If I move around, I'm a little bit more visible. If I stand up, I'm very visible. And if I go prone, I'm next to no visible whatsoever. So just another thing to bear in mind when you're creeping around the zombie-infested streets of Chernarus. Now below that we've got some more options, or some more display pieces. I'll just show you what those are quickly. At the top, on the bottom right hand side, you can see a picture of a face. That basically represents how good a person you are. At the moment I should have maximum humanity, which is essentially a morale system. So that's what I look like when I'm a neutral or good character. The more people I kill in cold blood, the more evil that face will appear. So that's just an indication to tell you how bad you are, essentially, as a person, not as a player. And below that you'll see the temperature gauge. I don't think that's been implemented properly as yet, but eventually that'll show you when you're at critical stages of temperature, or when you're too cold, etc. Below that again is a water bottle. That'll move through the stages of green, yellow, orange, red, and flashing red. That just indicates how thirsty you are in any given situation. When you become to a flashing red point, that's a critical time and you need to drink something as soon as possible, otherwise you will start losing blood and will quite probably die of thirst. Below that is again an indicator for your blood level. That'll go through again the same motion of green, yellow, orange, red, and it just shows you what sort of realm you're in when it comes to blood loss. If that has a white flashing cross on it, it means you're bleeding, and you'll need to attend to that as quickly as possible with a bandage. Below that again is a excuse me, a picture of a knife and a fork in a can. Basically that shows you your hunger level. Again, that'll move through the yellow, orange, the green, yellow, orange, red, flashing red, and represents how hungry you are. Similar concept with thirst, in that if you don't eat something when it's at a very low level, you're likely to lose blood and die of hunger. So that's essentially as much as we need to know about the graphic user interface on that end. On the left you can see a lot of text going through. That's just information which is put up by the game, and also other players in the world who are communicating. What I'll do is, if you press G, it will bring up your gear menu, and here we'll see the basic stuff that you get when you first spawn in the world. As you can see, I've got a weapon here. It's a shitty, cheap Makarov 9x18mm. Very weak pistol. Takes about 3 shots to the zombie's body to take one down, and 1 shot to the head if you can aim it well enough. I've got a few mags here, so that should be enough. I'll probably chew through them pretty quick. A couple of bandages, a backpack, a reusable water bottle, some flares for night time, a couple of cans of beans, painkillers, and some morphine. Morphine is used to treat a broken leg. Medical icons will appear over here if you're in any state of injury, showing you what you need to do. And if you have a broken leg icon, you take morphine. That'll make you harden up. If you have the shakes, take painkillers and it will take the pain away. Food for the food symbol, flares for night time, water for water and soft drink, heal your thirst levels, and so on and so forth. Now, to interact with these items, what you have to do, hover over it and right click, and as you can see, it will come up with any action. So drink water bottle, eat food, take painkillers, take morphine, bandage myself. That's a critical one you'll need to know. If you're injured, bandage yourself, and that should stop any bleeding. Now, another thing what we can do is right click our backpack. If we just click on our backpack with a left click, and we'll hit open bag, and that'll bring up a option over here. So what I can do is now transfer items into my backpack. So as you can see, the amount of space is changing in it, and these things are disappearing from my active inventory. So I can now close that bag and they'll disappear. Open it again and there they are inside my bag. So nice and easy concept there. Alright, I suppose another couple of things. Oh, there's another survivor. Please don't shoot me, I'm busy. He's just going to keep on running. There he goes. Yes, DayZ is very much like this. Anyway, what will happen is I'll show you a couple of different stances. You can change your view by pressing the number pad enter key. So that'll change between first person and third person mode on most servers. Some servers won't have third person enabled, but for the purposes of the video I'm going to play in third person. Now, there's a couple of different stances to know about. Pressing C will make you stand up by default, so then you'll be in an upright standing position. Pressing X will bring you down into a crouch, and pressing Z will put you down into a prone. And again, you can swap through those stances in any form that you wish to do. So there we go. Now, another couple of things you can do: lean, Q and E allow you to lean around corners, cover what you want. Right clicking will bring up your iron sights or your scope if you have a weapon which is equipped with one. And there's a couple other buttons. M, once you have a map, it will bring up your map screen. Another important thing. Compass comes up with K if you have a compass. A watch comes up with O. But for the sake of things, you shouldn't need to worry about that too much. You can change through your weapons when you have them by scrolling with your scroll wheel, and a small menu will come up on the left hand side. You can then select navigate to the weapon that you want and press enter, or you can press down on your scroll wheel if that's enabled, and that'll swap you over to that weapon or item. B, when you have binoculars, they'll be brought up with B. What else is there? Cycling through weapons that you currently have. What I'll do now, I'll just get my flares and put them back into my active inventory just so I can demonstrate this. Now, if I press F, you can see that it changes between my Makarov pistol and any thrown items I have. So that includes grenades, whiskey bottles, smoke grenades, all that sort of stuff. So I suppose what I'll do from here is try and move out and give you a quick I suppose introduction to the game world. Now, as I was saying earlier, Chernogorsk is a very dangerous place, so generally I'd like to avoid it. As you can see, it's got some fairly large buildings, and there we go, we've got some zombies over there, just milling about, being cool. Yeah, there's a lot of major buildings through here, a large concentration of players. Not all of them are very friendly, but it's a good environment to get the feel for the game and essentially scavenge some items, because one of the big draws of this area is because there's so many buildings, there's a lot of enterable areas which have some quite good loot, so better weapons, survival equipment, food, all that sort of stuff. So all stuff that oh, here we go, I found a dead survivor. So as you can see, we've got a survivor here who has either been killed by another player or has succumbed to zombies. I'm tipping it's probably going to be another player, given that we need Chernogorsk. I'm just going to lie down so I blend in with the area, and I'm using my scroll button now to navigate that that section on the left. Now there is an option to study body, but it's not always working at the moment. So as you can see, his name was unknown. It appeared he died from unknown cause, which doesn't really help us too much. So what we'll do is we'll just go to Open Patrol Pack. I'll press down on my scroll wheel, and it'll come up and show me everything that he has on him at the moment. So a couple of cans of soft drink. Now I don't know if you can hear this, it hasn't worked in the past, but there's a lot of gunfire going on around me at the moment, so I'm trying to keep my my attention. So that's all the stuff that's in his backpack. What I can also do is scroll down to the gear menu, and they'll bring up stuff that's in his active area here. So I probably would like some stuff from here. What I'll do, I'll just open my bag, and now as you can see I've got a new interface, which means I can put stuff from his body into my bag. So I'll take some food, take some Makarov mags. One of the new features in DayZ is wood. You can use wood to create fires once you have some matches, and that's important in keeping yourself nice and warm when it becomes night time and stuff like that.